rolling in general.
Nice.
So hello again. It's Declan McCrory with Connor Houghton. We waved. Welcome to, is this the third episode?
This is the third
episode of a Michael BH. And today we're going to be talking about the MCU, specifically Captain America and Guardians of the Galaxy. So just those, and then we'll do more probably in the future.
Yeah, we'll do it part by part in the future.
Yeah. So do you want to start with the first Captain America film, which was the first.
Yeah, it was the first. Yeah, I didn't actually see it until after I'd already seen the second.
I watched it. Flatmate's big into his Marvel and DC and stuff, so we watched all of them. In order, the first year, and we watched, because I think it was 6 films and then Avengers was the 6th film, I think. So
yeah.
So it was like Captain America, Hulk,
Thor,
Iron Man, and Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2,
and then Avengers. I know, which some people think Iron Man 2 is the best one.
I think it's dreadful. I really don't like it at all.
But we rushed it, and I'd say I enjoyed. I mean, again, we've talked about sort of getting a lot of fatigue now with the comic book films. But
yeah.
But I did. I'd say I enjoyed all of them on first watch, apart from Captain America. I really struggled with Captain America.
Did you?
Yeah. I didn't hate it, but I was what am I doing? I felt it really jumpy or something, and really needlessly got flashback. And I was like, it could have been done in 5 minutes. Instead, it was 45 minutes.
It probably could have. Yeah, it's a flashback.
Because it was not flashback, but as in he doesn't become Captain America.
Oh, when he's skinny,
until the last 2 minutes of the film, whatever. So he's not flashback, but as in the sort of boot camp.
Yeah, the preamble. Yeah,
and it's just, and then so there was that, and that was alright. And then it was a bit, a generic comic book. And then, as in, we have an unsung hero, but he's may not be that strong, but he's strong mentally, and And then we did, they did the sort of after the boot camp where he he redeems himself and he does the Mulan bit.
Yeah. I was just thinking it's like Mulan. Yeah, I was thinking exactly.
It's like Mulan, except Mulan doesn't have a 40-minute bit in the middle.
No.
Where he's just fighting and no one and he's gonna live.
Yeah, because he's in the other way.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's is this what we're doing? Do you know what I mean?
I don't. It's probably my favorite pre-Avengers.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair.
I like the first Iron Man, but again, that's a slow burn.
That film is really not aged now because it was the first
it doesn't hold up.
Purely because every other film has been based on it.
Yeah.
Went to see that and was like, oh my god. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, that's a bit corny.
It's just alright. Yeah. I really like the first one because I don't think even now, I don't think it'd be that fatigued comic book movie wise, just because I think the 40 setting is enough of a difference from the other ones.
Okay. But I suppose that's, I don't know. I think I just found it quite it was long, and it was.
It was long.
But I do know what you mean. But what did you would you actually rank it? Would you rank it up still? Would you still think it's one of the best?
Before the first Avengers, definitely. I still think that it's not the best Captain America, but I don't think it's far behind the other two.
Do you think it's the worst though? Do you agree with that?
Probably by a slight margin.
It's not the worst because it's the worst. It's the worst because the other two.
The other two are really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because a lot of people are like, oh no, it's by far they don't like it that much.
Yeah, fair.
But I think seeing it later on helped a lot. If I saw it first, I don't think I would have been that impressed.
And I think again, I'm probably being a bit harsh because I probably enjoyed Thor more than Captain America, and yet the Captain America trilogy is much better.
It's much better, yeah.
Thor, so.
I just don't like any of the Thors.
But yeah, that's fair that you prefer Captain. I probably would enjoy it more now
if you watched it again.
Purely because again, they're all trying to be Iron Man still. Let's have a bit of an asshole.
Yeah. And Captain America's because they're all doing that, aren't they? They're all having a bit of an asshole, and they think, oh, that's an edge on superheroes. But it's actually more unique now to have one who is nice because there's so few.
Yeah, it's actually why I really like Ant-Man. It's just here's just a guy. It's just Paul Rudd, and I don't even think Paul Rudd's acting. I think Paul Rudd's just being Paul Rudd for most of that film.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite MCU ones, Ant-Man.
Even it shouldn't be.
No.
But it's just really
it really shouldn't. I think Spider-Man's one of the other ones. He's one of the few nice superheroes. Him and Captain America, basically.
I almost feel sorry because it took 5 of them to get that sort of right. I think it took, as in the original 3 Spider-Man films from 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, the Tobey Maguire
and then the Amazing Spider-Man. But now they've only sort of nailed it.
Yeah,
with Tom Holland.
Yeah.
But I think what I was gonna say is I think I would enjoy Captain America now because it isn't the corny. We watched me and Connor went to the cinema the other day, and the two trailers were Thor and the new was it the Justice League film?
Oh yeah.
And they're both doing the like, oh cool, oh yeah, awkward comedy. And you're like, oh.
Oh
God,
yeah.
stop.
They just tread on each other's heels.
Yeah. Whereas like Captain America, it doesn't have that, so I actually probably would.
No,
enjoy
it doesn't
more.
really. And there's one bit that is amazing. It's really obvious. It was easy for him to do it, but it is so well done.
Which bit?
There's like when he becomes like a mascot. And there are people dressing up as him.
I like that, yeah.
I like that a lot because you don't see that much in.
Because that is like what Spider-Man's meant to be.
That's what
Spider-Man's
like
meant the hero.
To be. Yeah. You see it, I guess, in Luke Cage a bit.
Yeah,
Have you seen the Netflix series?
I haven't really watched it, but and I suppose it also gives a good justification of like I hated, for example, in Man of Steel where they're trying to give meaning to the S. It's like my planet means hope.
I thought that was pretty cool, to be honest. Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It's a bit like they're clearly trying to find something, whereas they did the opposite for Captain America. Like it's really patriotic because he is really patriotic.
Yeah, that's the point.
And like he's meant to be really corny. Because like that's what they wanted someone to be like their
exactly.
hero,
and it was a different time as well. Like they wouldn't have thought it was probably that corny.
Exactly.
Because there was nothing to compare
you can wear whatever you want if you're literally killing Nazis. Like
exactly. And there's like one bit where there's like someone dressed up as Hitler and he punches Hitler in the pretend Hitler in the face. And there's the famous comic book cover where he's doing that.
Exactly.
So
and
that's
a nice reference.
You see it transitioning into a comic book that someone's written like in universe. I do like that.
Which again
element
explains what because that's what like Daily Planet's what do you got, Superman? What's
Daily Planet is where he works in. Yeah,
is it Daily Planet? Is that DC or
that's
Marvel?
DC?
That's
yeah.
DC. What's the
MCU equivalent? Daily Bugle.
Daily Bugle, it is. Yeah. But do you know what I mean? Like that is what people are like. Give me pictures of Spider-Man. They want pictures of like Captain America being like our hero.
Yeah, that's what I like because you don't see that in the second or third because there are so many other superheroes around at that point.
And at that point you've got like gods and.
Yeah, exactly. He's not actually that impressive anymore. Yeah.
But that's fair. And to be fair, Captain America is arguably, I hate saying this, but it's probably the most realistic MCU film.
You think? Yeah. Well, like the first one of them as well. Or,
just the first one, yeah.
The first one. Possibly, actually.
It's the only one that's arguably quite believable.
Oh, with the super soldiers hero and stuff.
Yeah. I know that's a bit of a, like, pointless thing to say anyway. It's a comic book film, but I just mean, like, you don't get, when you watch any film, like, they use a trope, like, oh, by the way, like, we have the magic stuff that lets this happen or whatever, and you're like, oh, God, like, I can tell you're just writing this as you go along. Whereas it does feel a bit like they tell you, oh, he's a pretty good runner. Like, he can jump a bit higher than the average person. He's, like, he's stronger and whatnot, but, like, he doesn't, like, throw a car at anyone.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't, like, backflip 5 times off a 10-story building or anything. Like, it is pretty, like, low-key.
Yeah, it is probably for most of the film, yeah. I do like that about it. I was gonna say, and they do kill off because Stanley Tucci's in there as well, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
I kept forgetting that, but like, he's gone quite early, isn't he? And they haven't brought him back.
No,
and they do that all the time. That's one thing I don't like about Marvel.
They don't kill anyone.
No, yeah.
They make a Civil War film.
Yeah, they don't kill anyone.
And like the most famous for like brutally murdering loads of their
including Captain America.
And then literally, you get to the end of that film and there was nothing's happened.
No,
essentially, like literally, you just watched. Again, I enjoyed it the first time, and then the second you start questioning it, you're like, this film, nothing happened. Like, this film was literally pointless. Like,
you don't really get that with Captain America. Like, what happens to the Winter Soldier pre-Winter, like Bucky? What happens to him in the film? Does he assume he's dead, or
in
the first one? Yeah,
they're on the train.
They are on the train.
And he falls, and again, as you said, they killed the character off, and then we're like, that's one thing they didn't do well in the first one. They didn't portray that I was meant to give a crap about him. So, because he means a lot.
Yeah,
he means a lot in the second and third. And that's what, again, I had to, talk this over with people being like, well, I was like, why am I meant to care that he's dead? It's like, well, you need to know who he is because they bring him back.
Because he's a Winter Soldier, yeah.
Because you watch Winter Soldier and it's really good, but then you realise that, there was pretty much no build-up to it in the first Captain America film.
Not really, no, because, the scientist who actually does it as well, who's got, his computer screen face. Is it? Yeah, Toby Jones is playing him.
Yeah.
In the first one, he's not evil, he's doing a job.
Yeah.
In the second one, you find out he was evil the whole
pulling
time.
Strings
pulling strings.
But it was just very
which I kind of like. I don't mind it. I think it could have been done better, but I didn't mind that it happened. I know a lot of people who think it's really stupid.
To be fair, I think Winter Soldier gets more right than it gets wrong in many cases. I think it might be the best.
Oh
MCU
yeah,
film, to be honest.
pretty much all the way through. Yeah.
But
I can't remember why I can remember like why I liked the first one, but I can't remember why.
Well, even that statement there, you were like, yeah, I enjoyed it, but like, when did they kill Bucky?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
The scene's so crap. The scene is so like, oh right, he's dead. Oh, like don't worry, he's back. Brilliant. Like, you're like, what was the point? Like, what was the But
I liked as well those Howling Commando guys. I think they should have their own series.
That would be good. Actually,
that would be really cool. I know they're in Agent Carter,
but not like that.
But yeah, no. I wouldn't mind seeing them without Captain America.
Just like a gritty sort of, just people dying and people getting shot, sort of like really gritty sort of World War II film.
Yeah, but it's Marvel, which I think that's good. Because I do like comic book films now. They don't seem like comic book films. Yeah. I don't even know if Captain America does that much. You'd think it would really, obviously, because of his costume, but I don't know whether it does.
But it's actually the opposite, I mean, he does stick out a little bit in the Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell it's him. But, yeah, no, I agree with you there. But, I mean, to be fair, he doesn't have the most ludicrous costume anymore. Because you've got, like, Black Panther and you've got, like... Not that it's a bad costume, I just mean, like, even though he's all stars and stripes, you've still got someone dressed as a goddamn cat.
Like a cat, yeah. Who else have you got with a more ridiculous costume? There's got to be a few.
I mean, Hulk, arguably.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
nothing.
A pair of trousers.
Shorts, but he's
short
for some reason. Yeah.
How many purple trousers has Bruce Banner got? I don't know.
Because to be fair, I assume it's maternity. It's like how
it must be. Yeah.
But yeah, so should we move on to Winter Soldier?
Winter Soldier now.
So yeah, it doesn't transition brilliantly.
Well, from the two films,
as in it doesn't set up. And granted, it was never going to transition perfectly because it's like, here's the film. Oh, by the way.
Yeah, and there's films in between
frozen,
too. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's very much like the Winter Soldier is barely a sequel because like there's like
it's a different decades.
Time period it's like it's a sequel in the same way that like The Force Awakens is a sequel to the original Star Wars or the prequels and so on. Like,
that's a good one.
Because there is decades between them that like they're pretty much not recognizable as like the same film.
No, yeah, they're not at all. Which I'd like to be. I'd like that more than if they were really similar.
Yeah, and again, I'm okay with it because what they made after that was amazing. So.
Yeah, it was like I remember thinking I've seen Winter Soldier in cinema, thinking like I haven't seen the first one, but that is really good.
Yeah, we watched what do you call it? We watched like all the films through and like and then bang, like really, really like just really high paced and really fun as well. I don't know.
There was like I like the Black Widow was in there a lot as well, when she because like a lot of people say she's useless. Maybe that's true, but I liked her in that film.
I think I want a standalone film with her.
Same.
I tell you what I could have done with in the first Captain America is more stupid humor, like, you know, in the Batman film it's got some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah.
Think that would have been funny.
Probably, yeah.
Because of when it's set, and because he's like, I mean, there's not many other superheroes before him. He's the first one. I wouldn't have minded.
I think he is meant to be the first superhero.
Yeah, it's cool. The first Avenger. So I wouldn't have minded some stupid stuff like that. I mean, maybe they compare it too much with Batman if that did happen with the Adam West one.
I suppose so.
But I wouldn't have minded it because it's still not awkward comedy, is it? That's like really self-aware comedy.
Yeah, if anything, it's fun. Whereas like the awkward comedy we're talking about is like forcing a joke every goddamn scene.
So like we are superheroes, we are. We do things, but okay.
Like super thing? Oh, shut up!
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so like some of the comedy is literally like, you know, when your like mate has to get a word in edgewise. That's how it feels. It doesn't feel unnatural.
Yeah. But I think like even if they did have that in Captain America, I'd feel like it was justified because he's the first superhero. Yeah. Like, well, I still wouldn't have found it like hysterical, but I'd have preferred it to when you see it elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I know why. Like, you know, the made Hulk go from this like. I mean, the first Hulk was really gritty and really, as in the Ed Norton one was really gritty and really like the soundtracks were like really like what's the word? I mean, most of it's set in a freaking Chinese factory sort of setting, and
is
then
it Chinese?
He's in a Chinese factory.
I can't remember where he is,
but he's changing. What do you call it? He has to change jobs all the time because you know, and they portray the film more like a flipping like alcoholic problem or something, like it's as if, you know, but then like so they went from that and then they just went, nah, what if we just made him like team up with Thor and he's just a bit of fun,
and
the whole like that's my secret, I'm always angry, like, oh, I mean, that defeats the purpose of the first film, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like, how does he do that all of a sudden?
He just does, and I actually hated as well the Scarlet Witch, where she just like touches his hand and he just unhooks. And I was like, I mean, you could just do that.
Age of Ultron, that
yeah, it's like, oh, you could just do that like the whole time. But again, some explanation.
Yeah,
I'd have been alright with it, but they very much just went, what if we just gave up on like the Hulk we were trying to make, which was like ruthless, totally not controllable, like a nuclear weapon. And just made him like just chill, and he's just essentially he is just Mark Ruffalo, but a bit stronger. Well, not a bit stronger, really strong. Because he just gets up and fights, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm done," and then he can talk as like the whole like Hulk, no, bad Disney film.
He can speak like properly now, though. By the looks of it in the Ragnarok film, I'm not sure that I like that.
No,
even though there have been like there's a cartoon series called Agents for Smash, and he can talk like perfectly.
Is that the one that he fights Wolverine and whatnot, isn't it?
Oh, that's just the Hulk versus.
Is it?
There's like a TV series where like it's him and then loads of other Hulk-esque characters in their own like Avengers team.
Okay, fair. But yeah, no, Captain America 2 is what's the word I'm looking for? It's definitely the best MCU film. It is. You could watch it as a standalone film.
Yeah, because like I haven't seen the first one, and like people are like you don't really need to, and you don't. I'm glad I did.
Because again,
you don't
5-6 decades separate.
I've just remembered that like the first film does end in the present day though.
Yeah, because when he
crashes,
whatever.
I love that scene. To be fair, like I knew it was gonna happen, but I thought it was done really well.
Which one?
Like when he's going like the entire thing, like when he's going down on the plane and Nick Fury showing up.
Because is it in the first film or the second film where he has the relationship with the old woman, whom was his girlfriend when he was like.
That's the second film.
That's the second film again in Winter Soldier. That's great. That's a really, really
that's
nice
cool.
touch.
Like, you remember he's like hundreds of years old because there's not enough.
And it makes you realize he actually is like alone.
He is. And he says like that joke about the other 3 guys in my barbershop quote are dead.
So it's nothing to do. And it, like at least the sort of granted they were never going to make a film where it's just about a guy woken up from a coma. They were never going to do that, but I did enjoy the sort of. What's the word? Like, let's make him actually have some depth to him that he is alone. And then he has a connection to his past that he can, seek out.
And it's basically like a thriller film in a way, all the way through. It's like it's a bit like one of the Bourne films, but as a Marvel film in a way, because they are like hiding from the authorities for most of it.
Yeah.
They brought back Nick Fury pretty terribly is the one thing.
Oh my!
Within the same film as well, which I don't like at least wait to film because. And I think the scene where he was like supposedly, I thought it was too good to not be like. Genuine.
It was like a nice.
It was a really good like. There was a lot of tension in there. You felt like, I'm watching just a like.
And he like straight again like a Jason Bourne film.
Yeah, it's like I'm watching a thriller now. Basically,
you can only watch it for like, and then he has to go again because he's on the run and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I forgot about that actually. Before you said that.
It's really terribly that it's like
by the
technology, I'm in the hospital now.
I actually prefer when they're like magic. Whereas like when it's like technology is actually a bit better.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It like takes you totally out of the film, I think. Because then you're like, what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point of like watching that scene, which I thought was really good and like a Jason Bourne film. If they're going to just go back on it, So that's the one thing I didn't like, but I mean, you got to forget that of every Marvel film because it seems to be in everyone by now,
I don't know. Like, they're just so good at making quite average films, and I wish they would just give up on that and just kill off all the characters and make a really, really gritty, like, really, even if it wasn't as good, just take some risks.
Yeah, they need to kill off someone major, don't they?
Because they do, there's some things they do really well, but they just don't, like, have any, like, balls to, like, keep at it, so they, like, cast really well, they, like, they're really good at just churning out, like, solid, hundreds and hundreds of $1 million films every 4 a year, 3 a year, whatever. But they don't. Again, as you're saying about like Thor, like who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't care.
I think that's why they added in the help. They need more.
Yeah, it's like ooh, get it? And then they'll be like, it's actually a reference to this comic.
Yeah,
it's like, it's not a reference, though.
It didn't feel like Black Widow being in most of Winter Soldier, and Falcon was there. I totally forgot he was in it. Falcon. Oh, that's where you see him first, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like. Now, I liked the fact that he had his own story going on in the background. Yeah. Instead of just giving him an origin story of his own in his own film. Where everyone like, wow, who's this guy?
Let's have some depth to him. Basically.
Yeah, but like, I did like, he swoops in like the opportune moment. There is one scene like, everyone mentions, I can't even remember, in Winter Soldier now. Does it like a woman who's in like a meeting room turn out to be a Hydra agent? What actually happens in that scene?
Isn't the whole point of it that Hydra was like the Nazi organization for the first film? Again, no foreshadowing in the first film at all. They clearly didn't know what they were doing.
Oh, they called him Hydra though.
Oh yeah, but it's in the same way that Bucky's introduced in the first film, but you don't care about him, and then he dies, and then by the way, remember him. Because they were like, the whole point is like, oh my god, it's my best friend from when I was back in the day, and then you're sitting there watching that being like, who?
Yeah.
Which one's he? So it's the same thing. It's like, Hydra? Is that it? Or something, is it? And you're like, yeah, it's actually meant to be foreshadowed, but they just sort of glossed over that.
Yeah.
And it's the whole, they're back, and they've actually infiltrated everything, and
Yeah, does she actually, does a woman transform into some Hydra?
Yeah.
I really can't remember.
Because that's what the whole plotline of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is, pretty much, is like, that they're essentially like a rogue team now.
Yeah.
They went from having like hundreds of operatives, but now it's all like declassified and all.
That's quite cool though, isn't it?
So again, good and bad, but
yeah, I don't mind that though. How does it end? Winter Soldier.
He just lets him go, doesn't he? I can't remember actually.
That must be it, because he's in the other one, so I'm assuming so. Oh, he must turn back to normal, because in Civil War he's got the trigger words.
Oh yeah,
he's not
gets
walking
pulled
around
in, doesn't he? I don't know.
Yeah, I need to find out how Winter Soldier, even if I don't watch it.
I love it. We really like it, and then proceeded to not really know enough.
Realize we haven't remembered a lot about it.
Awful.
I haven't seen it since the cinema either. Is the thing.
Fair.
Because when did it come out? It's probably pretty old.
Again, no, it's the comic book fatigue. There's loads of films I want to rewatch that I haven't.
But then they're not comic book ones.
So why do I need to throw like a few more MCU films in there and a few more DC? Do you know what I mean? I'm happy enough leaving them as like a one. I'll go to see them. They get my money.
Yeah, that's all they need.
We're sitting there going, oh god, this Thor film looks terrible, and I'm sitting there complaining about DC. And even Wonder Woman has still not won me over. I still refuse.
Oh, I completely.
I'm still going to go see Thor. I'm still going to go see Justice League because I'm terrible. So
yeah, that's the same as you see after online. These people are all going to see it. They know.
Yeah, exactly. We are the problem.
Yeah,
we're the people who are like, oh, we could be vegan. But we're just looking at being like, oh, look at the way they treat animals, and then we're just buying ham.
Yeah, exactly.
I
don't like ham.
Oh,
it's 4 out of 10.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's quite low, actually. No, yeah, I'll stick with 4 out of 10. Yeah.
What's your reference though? What's bacon?
I find bacon quite overrated, to be fair.
Really?
Yeah, because it's cool to love bacon now, and I don't it's just a salty thing. It's I don't mind it, I don't dislike it, I'll eat it. Everyone's like, oh, bacon's so amazing.
That's fair. Whereas in your head you're like, yes, it's good, but so sausage.
Yeah, I think I might prefer sausage.
Really?
Yeah,
that's fair. Fair.
What would be your sausage and your bacon of the Captain America films?
Well then, I don't know, maybe Civil War would be bacon. Maybe in that. No, Civil War would be, I'm trying to think of something that's like, ooh. And then you're like, oh, actually. Maybe
ribs?
Yeah, it's like, you eat it, you're like, oh, I love ribs.
And then you're like, yeah.
It's messy.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's the worst metaphor ever. Yeah. It's so awful.
Maybe actually steak, because you look forward to seeing it. You see it, you're watching it, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's not that great, but you still want to watch it again. You still want.
Oh, okay. No, because I don't know, because I enjoy steak too much.
That's fair enough. That's
fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
ribs is probably a better one, actually.
I think ribs works. I think that was a good idea. I think it was straight off the cuff.
So then that's the sausage one. What would that be? Of the other two?
I don't know. I think just a standard sort of sausage, just a standard oh, I enjoyed that. Yeah. So that's what you kind of mean. That's probably the first Captain America thing.
Yeah, I think I think the middle one's bacon because it's good. Then there is also the first one.
There's a lot of issue and there's a lot of
Yeah, I was close to liking the first, being blown away, like you said you weren't.
But then it was fine.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's fine. I think it'd probably be different if I saw it first. Because there was a lot of stuff I knew was going to happen, but I still liked seeing it on screen. I knew he was going to get frozen. I didn't know Nick Fury would be in the first one. That's the one thing.
Sure, it doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter. You've seen him in the other ones. But I was a bit oh, that's quite cool. I didn't realise that it was that much of a foreshadowing to the Avengers in the first one. I thought it was all just about him.
Oh, okay.
So I like the fact that was there. I would have said before the Winter Soldier was my favourite, but it's a really
And the second we questioned it, it's the same as we're going to move on less in a minute. With Civil War. Yeah. Really, really, and I don't know what it we've talked about before when you go into a film and you're in a good mood, or in a bad mood, I went to Civil War, and I think I just finished an exam or something,
Yeah.
and it was one of those actually it's on the Sunday, do you want to see that? And I was like, yeah, it'd be cool. You know, I'm not doing anything. It'll fill up first few hours of the day kind of thing, and then, you know, we'll get some food afterwards. And I was properly like, we were watching this, being like, wow. And like totally falling for it, like Black Panther's running. Oh my god, it's running!
Yeah,
going mental for every single character being introduced.
I know. I think they did. Oh yeah, we're on Civil War. Oh,
we're on. That was it. See that transition?
That was a good transition. That was pretty seamless, to be fair. I like that.
Whereas our Captain America 2, we had to physically stop. And
we had to be like, yeah, I know that was good. I like that.
Glad that we've destroyed it now, because we're now gonna have to.
We've lampshaded how good a transition it was, which means it's now a bad transition.
Yeah, we've transitioned into a bad transition. So I don't know, like
we did it on purpose of meta humor.
It's actually we have a whiteboard in front of us that says "talk about sausages," and then we've got
we don't. Just for everyone listening on, we do not.
Badly transition.
That was ad libbed. It's not good enough to be ad libbed. It's like it's not impressive either way. But yeah, right. Civil War. It's not even a good transition. I just said right.
Destroyed
Civil War. Anyway.
But so I went to Civil War, really enjoyed it, like really, and I don't know why. I mean, I've said to you before, like all I've done since is like question my. It was the equivalent of like, you know, when you're at something and you're like 15, you're like at something, and you were like, oh my god, she's really pretty, or something like that, or something stupid like that, and then the second you go, oh wait a minute,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like it was like that. I like convinced or like if you're like listening to a song, and at the time you're like, this is the best song ever. And then you like wake up the next day and you're like, or is it just a generic?
Yeah.
Like just another band playing.
She's really pretty, or is everyone else in this room just really not?
Exactly. Yeah. So I was like watching this, going like, oh my god, and like properly like again any awkward humor. I was like, ha ha, and I was like, oh my, you know, it's so good. There's so many plot lines, and then you realize that the plot doesn't make any sense. The villain is awful.
I don't know. I kind of like Zemo in it, like the guy who was like. He was like affected by the collateral damage of the Avengers. Yeah, okay. I liked him a lot.
That worked a bit.
That worked, yeah.
But again, we talked about how, like his plot, his like evil scheme was essentially hope that both Captain America and Iron Man showed up at the same. He like didn't plan it. When you watch the film, there's no scheme. He basically just goes like, "All right, come and find me then," and then they both find him.
They will find him,
and then they just turn on each other, and he's just like, "See you later, lads," and walks away. That's like his plan is literally. I really hope. Like, it's actually the equivalent of, you know, when a evil villain goes, let's hope they get into some kind of accident.
Yeah.
Like, but he literally does just hope they get into some kind of accident.
Yeah.
Like,
that's fair enough.
I really hope Iron Man trips whilst brushing his teeth and hits his head. That was like a scheme, essentially. Like, what do you call it? I'm trying to think what else is in this. The argument, again, really good. I mean, the comic, granted, it works really well in the comics, but the Tony Stark wanting to police everything versus Captain America wanting to be rogue.
I think it works better in the film.
Do you think so? But like, again, because of the way the characters are set up, it's a bit like why though? Like,
why are they switching? Because like,
do you know what I mean? Like,
like why is Iron Man the reasonable one after like, mind you, maybe he's learned his lesson from like, you know, creating the villain in the last film. I think it makes sense like that.
Yeah.
Because you know, in Age of Ultron, it's like it's his ego is the villain and not really Ultron.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So I think maybe he's learned a lesson from that. So I can believe it in that way.
Is Iron Man 3 before? So yeah, it was before Civil War.
It was, by a while.
I was gonna say
just not very good.
Just learned from being an alcoholic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he was having flashbacks to the Avengers. He doesn't want to. I think it actually does make perfect sense.
Probably would work if they transitioned it better.
Yeah.
But like, I remember just watching it, and they're just around the boardroom, and they're like, lads, I know you saved a few people, but you also nearly, like, you actually, you know, because of Scarlet Witch, he's actually murdered a few people as well. And like, rather than being like, yeah, fair enough, they're like, nope.
Yeah, like he's being completely unreasonable. All they're asking is for some sort of control, which is what you meant to stand for as a superhero.
Yeah, exactly. And like the control, let's not forget that Captain America is a soldier.
Yeah,
he's like a sergeant. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he worked for the government his whole life, and now he's like, no. Do you know what I mean? And yet Tony Stark, who was always like weapons dealer, and then he went against that and all this. Yeah, and now he's the one going like, ooh, like let's listen to the government. Just like really bizarre.
And as well, like I think that I still like Captain America as a superhero, but that really ruined it for me. Like, I really did not like him that much in that film.
In that film, yeah.
Like I think I could see his point a bit. He was being a bit self-centered about Becky because like I know he's brainwashed, but he is killing people, and he might be brainwashed for the rest of his life. Does he really want to live as a brainwashed, crazy person forever? But he really lost me when, there's the big fight, which is amazing, to be fair.
The Iron Man thing. To be fair, again, the lead up to it. Yeah. Oh, that bit?
Yeah, in the terminal,
I think you meant that, to be fair, the single Iron Man Captain America fight is amazing.
Also
with Bucky.
Amazing, yeah.
Again, don't care. This is the thing, like, at the time when I was watching it, I ignored, because I didn't take a minute to go, wait a minute, like, why did they show up at the same time?
Yeah.
Because, like, I was just too busy watching it, being like, oh my god, because
that
scene looks class, it looks so good.
Yeah, it does look amazing.
It's basically like watching episode 1 of Star Wars again.
Yeah.
All you remember is pod racing, something, Darth Maul fight.
Yeah.
And you're like, what a great film. And then you watch it, and
it's just talking about politics.
And you're like, oh god.
Really slow into galactic politics, and then Jar Jar Binks popping up. But I still like the Phantom Menace, TBH.
Because I actually think I've fallen for, like, all the shit posting. I think the prequels are amazing. I actually think the prequels are, and they're awful, but I think they're amazing.
I think they're solid enough, apart from, like, Attack of the Clones.
Apart from maybe 2 of them.
Yeah.
But like, they're not good. They're not good. Like, they're badly acted, badly written. They're stupid. There's so many terrible scenes. And, like, purely because people have, like, posted to oblivion.
Yeah,
like,
saying, like, Star Wars is stupid.
Yeah,
like, is it that bad? Yeah,
I'm like, you know what, it's amazing. It brought so much joy to me.
Yeah.
That I know I love it. It's like Rebecca Black's Friday. People who hated it played it the most.
Exactly.
It's a work of art.
laugh at it, and it's like, she's getting what she wants here. She's getting views on YouTube, but that's all she cares about.
This is what George Lucas should do. He should just keep going off the rails, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But, where he lost me, Captain America, in Civil War, we're back to Civil War.
Apparently, yeah.
There will be a Star Wars episode one day, so we'll recap on
Actually, could do that.
Could easily do that.
Very soon.
Yeah, could easily. I don't think I need to rewatch them to remember.
I don't think anyone needs to rewatch them.
No, exactly.
That was just the prequels for the record.
But, Captain, he really lost me when he, like, in that fight in the terminal, like, he drops a crate on Spider-Man. He's heard him talk, he knows he's a child.
I've never met him.
Never met him.
I have no idea who this guy is.
Knows he's a child. He's been called a big fan by him. It's like, he idolizes this war hero.
Yeah.
And he just drops a fucking crate on it. He doesn't even know at this point, really, that he's got super strength to save himself. And he goes, boom, he throws his shield. He's struggling to hold up the crate, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's a nice arm, kid. Where are you from? He's like, oh, Queensland, yeah. You're supposed to think that's a tender moment. It's like, oh, it's all right to murder a child if you ask where they come from.
Exactly,
How am I supposed to warm to Captain America after he's almost killed Spider-Man? Just because he's asked where he comes from.
It's the same as, I watched Doctor Strange, and they've done people love Tony Stark because he's a bit of an ass. Let's do it again.
Yeah, but there's
no redemption. You watch the film, and you're just watching Benedict Cumberbatch being an asshole. And he's so much of an asshole that it made me think that maybe Benedict Cumberbatch is an asshole. Doctor Strange they did, and it's the same thing they did in Captain America. Let's make him gritty. He's not gritty, he's an asshole.
Yeah, I know.
There's a difference there.
It's like, I really don't like... I know he's seen people, like, dying in the war, and he doesn't want to lose the one person he knows from his time. But, like, Bucky's not the same person he was from his time anymore. He spent an entire previous film...
And he also proceeds to murder his mates, essentially. He said he just tried to kill Spider-Man.
He tries to kill, a child who he's never met.
Yeah, just like, why not?
Yeah.
Because I'm moral. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, they sort of, like, they do justify it slightly in Homecoming, but I don't know whether enough for me, to be honest.
Yeah, and again... If you just ignore that, the film's fine. But there's loads of that in that film where, like, the plot is essentially just like, oh, we just decided. Like, why on? Like, and even how they decide if they're on Stark's side or on their side, like Captain America.
It's not even what character you prefer from previous films, because I was expecting it to, because people are like, oh, whose side are you going to be on this one? And I was like, well, I prefer Captain America, so I guess him. I didn't prefer him in that film when I watched it. Maybe
actually, in that film, it's actually the opposite. You're watching it and you're like, that's logical. They don't even say we're going to control you. They're just like, you know the way Hulk has actually murdered a lot of people because he's like literally a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
That's how they describe him. Like he totals entire cities and stuff. Where is he? Dunno.
I know they don't even. I
don't want to know where he is.
Do they mention him?
They say that.
Oh,
like, where is Hulk? Or where's Thor and stuff? And
yeah, they both not in it. Yeah.
Reasonable request.
I know. Yeah.
Just like a little once a day. Where are you, lads?
Yeah.
Just chilling. Okay.
One thing, because I still do like saying all this. I still do like Civil War. I think I'd watch it now and I'd be basically entertained, and that's all I want from like a film like that now. But in the cinema, I was like, oh yeah, this is just a critically, objectively good film.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just very I I think it works as like it's like a cartoon or something. That's how
I
describe
thought
it.
the one thing I've got to give like genuine points for him on is I thought it was like amazingly well balanced between the characters. It felt like hardly because there's always like, I mean, even in like the smaller group superhero films, like someone's in here for no reason. It's just because like people like them, like people who read comics are gonna go, oh my god, they're in this, but then they don't do anything to the plot. I don't think there's anyone really like that in Civil War.
That's fair.
Apart from, is it like Agent Carter's niece, the blonde girl?
Oh yeah.
He like snogs for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, right, she doesn't need to be in there. Like all the others, they've got something. Like
cinematically, it's really fun.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. It's not like you're not watching these fight scenes going like beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
You're watching them just being like woohoo.
Yeah.
Like, hooray! He did cool 3 backflips or whatever.
I think it was a good another genuinely good thing, a good genre balance. Because there are bits you feel like you're watching a political thriller because there's a whole Black Panther backstory that feels a bit like. And there's other bits where you know you're watching a superhero film. There's other bits where you're watching a comedy, like the Spider-Man. So I like that a lot.
I hate just the Spider-Man bits a lot.
He stole the show a bit for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's like, because I love Spider-Man. Like, I think he's like, he's one of my favourite characters, let alone being a comic book character. So it's like, he stole the show a bit too much in a way.
Yeah. And I don't even think intentionally. They didn't even write it like that. He's just really good at it.
Because, like, how much is he in it? Like, 20 minutes, I'd say?
Less.
Probably less, yeah.
A lot less,
but you still, like, associate so much with him, don't you?
I don't think what else. But yeah, like, I was thoroughly entertained, more so than any of the other Marvel films I've went to see.
Yeah,
apart from actually the Guardians films.
Yeah.
That transition, lad, that wasn't even intentional.
That's amazing. So on to the Guardians films. Here we go.
So I was more entertained in it than most. But, again, the second you go, like, but why?
I think it still really holds up, I do.
I think it holds up, but I think it holds up to what the MCU is, which is none of them are ever, like, they're never going to put out, like, a masterpiece film.
No.
It's just, the MCU is just this weird thing that's happened that somehow they've got away with making, and like they're going to make 30 films all connected to each other, and people are like, oh, they're going to do another one? No, I really hope they don't. I really can't be bothered warming the characters again and doing this again. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, do you know what's actually a bit comparable to Harry Potter? But yeah, so J.K. Rowling's she's not going to put out, 14 or 15 of these films.
Yeah.
And I don't want another one. I don't want another Wizards. I don't need another one. And it's, you know what I mean? I just don't go to see them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, like, MCU did. None of them are good. Like, no, apart from Prisoner of Azkaban, which actually is quite a good film.
Yeah, I like Prisoner of Azkaban a lot,
it's standalone, really.
Yeah, it is good, yeah.
No one, I don't think anyone went to see Half-Blood Prince and went, wow, what a masterpiece. Like, do you know what I mean? They're all fine.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that was good. But we're not going to put them on a top 100 list or anything. Like, of course not.
It's not going to be on IMDb's top 250 now.
No, exactly. And it's going to be in people.
I think Civil War might be now on top 250.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I've got a feeling. That's a good episode we can do in the future. See how many of the top 250 we've seen.
That could be, just literally just scroll through and do it in a minute each.
Yeah.
Nail it. But
a 250-minute long episode.
I realised that. I was like, wait a minute.
It could do. I mean,
that's 4.5 hours.
That's 4.5 hours.
A bit pushy. But what do you call it? No, but like, I don't think that the MCU are aiming to make like masterpiece films. They're just aiming to make fun films.
Yeah, which people go see.
Yeah, exactly.
People
in the same way that like the Scooby-Doo series.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
all the same plot.
Because
they all have to match it. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, they're working because I'll buy all the merchandise for things. I'll buy a figurine. I bought a Black Widow figurine for £4 the other day.
There you go, exactly. And I think I'm being bitter, to be honest. I think I'm just a bitter old man already. I just hate everything.
At least 30 years.
Just choose actors I hate.
You know
what I mean? And I don't hate them. I keep saying hate, and I don't hate. Never I'm not gonna spit on it or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna slap it if I see it.
Yeah.
I'm just whatever. You know what I mean? And it's probably a little bit of jealousy. I don't know. I like Casey Affleck a lot.
Yeah,
and that's entirely based on he's in one film.
I think he should branch out into slightly different Casey Affleck. I think he should be in something like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
right. Here we go.
Worst transition. I love it.
I just thought we gotta get
to it. But anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy.
That is one I came out of being seriously impressed.
Yeah,
it's the twice I watched it, I was seriously impressed.
I thought it would really fatigue me the second time I watched it.
And it didn't, yeah.
But to be fair, I do feel like the second one will fatigue me.
Yeah.
I think it was too much of a sort of. It's like watching a one-liner comedy game. You know the puns and you know the
Yeah,
lines.
exactly. And like the first one, like a lot of the charm was like seeing them actually form. They were already a team in the second one, but seeing them form as the team part what was so good about the first film. Now that was one that I think though, because we saying like, oh, it's like really annoying when they just make superheroes assholes and they think it's good characterization and it gets more annoying. It's better to make them nice people. That's one where them being assholes really works. Like Star-Lord, he's not a nice bloke in the beginning.
Like scoundrels.
He's like a smuggler. He's a bit like Sinbad going back to the DreamWorks episode. And like, I tell you what, like the very first scene is like I'm NGL. It didn't make me sad with his mother dying. I didn't know anything about her. It didn't look natural.
That's fair.
It's like,
it looks really weird, and I don't know if I don't know what the stylistic choice was, but like
I don't.
looks like Alien.
My mother said exactly the same thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what that's about. Because like, again, rewatched it recently, and I was like, what are they doing?
I mean,
like,
we do find later on he kind of is, but not on his mother's side.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So I thought they were gonna. I actually thought it wasn't happening or something the first time I watched it. I thought like, oh, this isn't real because there's no one else in the flipping hospital.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this like a dream? Is this like a coma or something?
Yeah.
And then it's just like, no, and then he gets it.
No, it actually happens. Yeah.
And then, right, you see her in the second film, and you're thinking, right, this is a chance to give her some depth. Maybe I can sympathise for her in ways I didn't in the first film where she was underdeveloped. And no, she's just really annoying. She's in the car with Kurt Russell, just molesting him, singing along really annoyingly to that Brandy song, and you're like, stop molesting him. You don't know he's a living god and he is trying to drive a car. Just leave the man alone.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about this too early. It's supposed to be the second one later on. But anyway, back to the first film. The scene after the first film, like I say, doesn't make me sad, but the credits, the come get you, like that's one of the best opening. I don't know. I only like it in the context of the film.
Oh, really?
When
it's
I
also
listen to it,
it's the theme music for F is for Family, actually, as well.
Is it?
Yeah, because they're both.
Oh yeah, it's in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because like when I listened to it outside of the film, I was really underwhelmed. But I thought that was one of the most original openings I've ever seen.
It's the same as what do you call it? Hooked on a Feeling.
Yeah.
In that, like, it's a great, works really well, and like, I mean, I was one I knew before.
I did. Yeah.
It is one of those ones that like you in your head, and in a film, say it sounds really natural. But then when you actually, like, the amount of times people put it on karaoke now,
yeah,
and they're like, "Hooga jaga," and you're like, "What the hell am I listening to?" Like, it's really bizarre. Like,
did you know that's a cover as well? That's not the like, it's like in the '60s. In the '60s when it hasn't got the hooga jaga thing,
they just added it.
Yeah, they added that. That's like
a big part. It is really bizarre. There's no guitar or anything under it. It's just that,
no,
and then they're like,
yeah. But like. Yeah, I think that's a better song than the Come Get You, like to listen to on its own. But it is still, it transitions.
I still like them both, to be fair, but yeah, do you know what I mean?
It's like Hooked on a Feet, it does transition pretty amazing. Like when like they walking down the prison corridor, it's like, oh my god, it just blends so well. You're like, oh wow. I mean, nothing's happening, but I'm really taking into
one of
this.
the only, I think, because the soundtrack's so down to earth.
Yeah.
Literally.
Hey.
The like cinematography looks better for that reason. Whereas if they put like a flipping Hans Zimmer like it'd be really like
slow, muffled strings and stuff.
It'd be like, what are you doing? Whereas like because
like,
it's
this is a comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you what, man, I know it's like because like there's Ant-Man that tries to be like basically a straight up comedy, doesn't it? And then that was after this actually, wasn't it? So this was probably
actually it was.
So the first one that successfully really went into like we are basically making a comedy first and foremost.
That
is still
it's the first one that people didn't know any of the characters.
Yeah, like nobody cared. Yeah, it's nothing like when you see like differences between the two. They've got basically nothing from the comics.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if it wasn't for the Marvel thing, they could have made their own film.
Yeah,
if it wasn't for the MCU.
And even still, they're still not really related. I mean, apparently they're going to chuck it in now.
Yeah, into probably Infinity War.
And I'm assuming that's not going to be well done at all.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think they're literally going to show up, be like running. Oh, hey guys, they're like, who are you?
I still need more of them. I still really need more of them.
Yeah.
So like, I got like immersed in that world pretty much more than any MCU film.
Yeah.
There's so much more world building than there is in like. I mean, Captain America's good, but I still think there's so much more world building in Guardians, even in like the first half hours.
And it shouldn't be.
And it shouldn't be, because it's set on Earth and it's set on all these other different planets.
Exactly.
You'd think there wasn't enough focus on each one, but there somehow is.
Because you don't need it anymore.
You don't really need it anymore. That's when they know they're being cheesy. They don't care. They embrace it so much.
And even casting, again, that's one thing MCU really nail.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
I don't think there's one awkward casting.
No.
I mean, no, I say that there definitely is, but like I can't think of any off the top of my head where I'm thinking like I except, but it isn't the casting so much, but Thor.
Thor, yeah.
I find, but that's not the casting. It's just I don't care about her.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah,
Like,
fair enough. Yeah, she is like in the comic. She is Thor now. She's taking.
Yeah, she takes the mantle.
That's cool. Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing that in a film.
Like, I really not her though.
Not her though.
I mean, I'm feeling.
I know a lot of people who really don't like Natalie Portman.
It's not even if they made a really good film of the transition and stuff. I still like. I'm so annoyed that they went the time they took off. Like I'm just like, no, I don't want it. Like
of the Guardians, if you could imagine like one being played by another person, you'd pick.
Ooh. So I think Chris Pratt's settled.
I think he's I can't imagine another person.
I don't think you could redo him.
Even I know it's just a voice role, but I don't think Bradley Cooper. Oh my God, Groot is an obvious one to not be played by someone else. He just says, "I am Groot."
Yeah, actually, he's literally
like let's say that he's red, like another one.
I was gonna say you can literally doesn't matter if it's Jack Black or Michael Cera.
It doesn't
really,
matter if it's a man off the street going, "Oh, I'm Groot," because they pitch it up anyway. It's not recognized.
It doesn't even need to be a Vin Diesel.
No, it doesn't at all.
It actually could just be a claim.
It could, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I wouldn't know.
He wouldn't know that he read "I am Groot" and they went, "Oh, it's not good enough," so someone else said it. He would have no idea because they edited so much that.
That's true. But yeah, let's assume he's not off. Of the other four, who would you say?
That's difficult. Like maybe
I'm torn between Gamora because I think
Drax is another one where because you have to play it so straight.
It was gonna be Jason Momoa first, I think.
Which one's he?
He's Drogo in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have I know he's Aquaman now, and I think he needs to be Aquaman because people are finally realizing what
absolute.
I'd like to say I've been saying for years, Aquaman is just cool.
Yeah.
And so it's like they need someone to actually bring that back.
Well, they destroyed him in the cartoon series, basically.
Yeah, in the challenge of the Super Friends, he's bad, and then everyone else says he's bad because of that, and they haven't even seen that. Most people say he's bad now. But so I think Drax didn't have any preconceptions of being rubbish, so it's like it depends on what he's like in the film.
Yeah, okay. But do you know what I mean? He's an easy one you can recast because as long as you pick any actor and he's straight.
I think
he does do a good job of it.
Yeah, and I don't mind Zoe Saldana, but I think again someone else could.
She's like, it doesn't have to be her.
I feel like she's
green girl essentially.
I feel like she's underdeveloped a lot, especially in the second one. But we won't transition into that yet. But I think she does nothing in that film at all.
That's fair. Yeah, because actually looking back, really all I know her for is there's the scene where he comes under.
Yeah, the Sam Cooke thing. Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of she's sort of just there.
She's just there because she was in the first film, yeah.
I don't know. Again, a lot of the acting in Guardians of the Galaxy is very oh no, you must very just sort of basic evil for the sake of evil.
Ronan the Accuser is his entire role is that.
There's one bad thing with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, Ronan.
No. Thanos.
He's just there for a second.
He's meant to be the big body of this entire MCU.
He's a two-dimensional embodiment of slightly evil, yeah. He's just
alright.
He just spins around the chair what does he even say? What is that scene about again?
I think isn't he if you ever do this again, I will literally make sure you're dead. It's like
why do you need that scene? They could have I would have been happy if Ronan just went, Thanos just said, if I do this again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if they did that. I didn't
compare because he's similar to the Emperor in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Sitting in the chair.
Just sitting in a chair.
And that he's super powerful, even though you haven't seen him do anything yet.
Yeah.
And he's choreographing everything, or that's the other word,
he's orchestrating.
Yeah. But compare that where you've got the Emperor in Star Wars, total takes over the whole screen.
Yeah.
Literally from first scene he's in it, you're like, oh man, who's this?
Yeah.
Whereas Thanos is who's he again? Is he working for him?
Yeah. I think it was one thing really good about it. They're it is really tightly thought in. There are layers and layers of storyline because there's the Drax thing going on and that kind of
apart from the Thanos thing.
Apart from the Thanos thing,
that should be the big one. And that's,
So there are details with Drax's backstory which are quite generic. But the results are nothing that you see in usual superhero films. He causes a lot of conflict from trying to act on his backstory. Because there's a bit where he calls out the villain, he causes problems for people, and you're like, ooh, this is about to kick off now. And then it's not the only bit like that. There's the pink woman in the collector's room. You see her, and she's I wouldn't spoil what she's doing. but it's basically she says like, I will not be your slave anymore, and that's another really good minor plot point. It adds to the world building of it, which is what, like we've said, this film is good at.
Yeah.
And you only appreciate them when you're watching it on TV, because I can't remember thinking, oh, these bits are amazing when I was just sitting in the cinema.
They need to be there because they fit into plot. We forget them when they like straight after they've happened, but they are still like really good scenes.
That's fair. And the introduction of it's actually done really weirdly well, which is I just don't know about the world building. They're only on the planet. You know the scene where they have the orb and he's trying to give it to the collector guy.
Yeah.
And he like then Rocket Raccoon comes in and then and that's how they introduce sort of them as a team. That's how they go to prison. But they're only on that planet for say I guess rather than time it when watching it 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And yet when it comes back to it at the end, you know those characters.
Yeah.
Like it actually does shift quite it does actually do that quite well again.
Oh yeah, you learn everything you need about Star-Lord in the first not so much in when he's a little kid, you don't really need that. In the like the dancing bit and straight after when he's like, he's caught by what's that actor's name who's in Gladiator? Jimon.
He's a great actor
he's
as well.
Great.
He's a really, really
he's
good
in
actor.
that as well. He's still quite good, even though he doesn't have that much to do.
He has one of the best lines.
He's just like
which I can't remember exactly, but the whole he says he's an ass, but he's not, and I quote here, a total dick.
Oh, that's John C. Reilly said.
Oh, that's John C. Reilly. Sorry, I'm thinking of the other one. Yeah. What do you call it? Is that, it is John C. Reilly.
Yeah, it is. I think he's
saying.
called the character's called Korvath. That's the one. He gets a bit of his head ripped off by Gruden. Yeah, that guy. And another thing, this is back to Mulan. The worthy opponent. She pulls her ear back, and the villain's like the soldier from the mountains.
Yeah.
It's like there's a scene like that when he's like at the beginning he can't remember Star-Lord's name. He's like, oh come on man, there's nothing wrong with
my name. He calls him like Star-Lord or something.
But at the end he's really shocked. He's like Star-Lord, and Star-Lord's like, finally, he's been acknowledged as a good foe. That's they address it as well in the film because he's like, finally, that's an amazing small detail.
There's a lot of weird
it's obvious, but it's so good when you see it.
There's a lot of stuff in that film where I don't know if it's miss or hit as well because it's so kind of weird. Because it's just a really bizarre. And the second one again, because I watched it, really enjoyed it. But I feel on the second watch, I'd be like, what was the point of that?
I saw it twice in the cinema. The second one again.
What was that? Was it like a second time?
Probably a bit better.
Really?
I was surprised.
Because I was worried that I was like, I'm happy with this. I actually don't want to rewatch it because I really enjoyed that day. I had a really nice day.
Yeah.
Watched that. Didn't think it was gonna. I think it finished exams. Watched that
again.
And then went out.
God, that's like a tradition. I was watching the
MCU. I think we watched it and went out or whatever. But it was a nice. I wasn't expecting to go.
He's actually got a calendar in front of him, folks. It says it's got a day on his exams where he's going to appreciate the MCU per year, and then the rest of the time
it's just pointless criticism. But that's I really enjoyed it, and I was came out of the cinema, laughed loads. And again, I feel like I wouldn't laugh that much on
I just don't laugh in films. I don't know what it is.
But I was laughing my head off. I don't really do that. I don't really ever. I've never went, oh, that's a knee slapper.
I can see when the lines of funny is that's well written. There's people going oh, I mean, we're gonna do another episode about this, but in Kingsman, there was a guy
clapping.
Behind us, he was going and just clapping every 3 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like,
how can you enjoy life this much, mate? The film,
I know. But this film, you're sitting there watching this, you're like, it's all right.
I'd say looking back, it was quite good.
Yeah, it's not.
It wasn't as much as he thought. Yeah, it's no.
Do you know what I mean? It's not a masterpiece.
And I can't imagine anyone doing that with either of them. I can't imagine him being knee slaps. I can imagine him appreciating. Oh, this is the first time they've really nailed the comedy. But I can't imagine him going woo every line. Sounds like Penguin's friend then, Seal.
Oh yeah.
Right, that's another episode we can do, just us making penguin noises for hour and a half.
9 minutes. All right now.
Hour and a half.
But what do you call it? Yeah, and I bet you he would have been knee slapping a lot in the second film.
Oh yeah, because there's more I think there's more laugh a minute stuff in there and there. They try
that's
to
what I
make
mean.
more,
and that's one of the rare ones that they actually did nail that. The laugh a minute.
And I think in the first one more.
The first one's a better film, I think.
Yeah, it is.
The second one, we talked about, the ending, for example, just is totally, oh, okay. There's loads of it where you're like, what? What's this? What are you doing?
Yeah, but the second time, there's a lot of, amazing soundtrack overlaps in that. The credit scene, I think they topped Come and get under Mr. Blue Sky.
Oh yeah.
They could focus on the big fight going on, but no, it's more original to have just like a toddler-esque tree running around and doing like comical things. Because we've seen so many fight scenes open in films now.
That actually, the opening of that,
it's like pretty
really,
exceptional,
really weirdly. Again, because we talked about how MCU kind of doesn't do cinematography very well. Like, a lot of the scenes are a bit like bland looking.
But that one, I think both the films, they really take like a lot of advantage of like they could make people look stupid. Their costumes are quite like grounded looking, but everybody else's aren't.
No.
It's got bright blue people and stuff.
No, exactly.
It's got bright blue, like basically main character as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, I've never seen a photo of them out of costume. Like, see that?
No. Actually, well, I've seen what Michael Rooker looks like when he's not being young. I've seen him in like other stuff.
But I mean, like, I'd love to see them, like, what does Drax look like when he's like sitting on set?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. His costume is just trousers, isn't it? Yeah.
That's it, because I love all that stuff that like seeing behind the scenes like Star Wars stuff and behind the scenes like Lord of the Rings stuff.
Oh yeah.
You can see how much of it is, especially in those two films where a lot of it is puppets and props and is like they just did it. Where you see the CGI films like you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just them, the green screen.
I've seen the like gifs of like Captain America doing a flip over, like, and it's literally just him jumping off like a green block. You're like, alright. Like, and then
it's really underwhelming. Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
One thing I gotta say about the first film, going back to it really quickly, which I thought like was amazing, probably the both times I watched it in the cinema. Like Yondu's whistle, when there's like the first time you see it in use, like you think, oh, how amazing is that? In the first one I'm talking about now, but like you think that's not actually a good scene because they just stand in there.
I know.
Like, as soon as one dies, they don't think, oh, let's try shooting him back. They just stand there and wait to, oh, let's see more of this badass fight scene because of the plot.
Yeah, exactly.
In the second one, it makes so, like, that scene where he's, like, taking revenge on the Ravagers, like, they actually try. And, like, that's an amazing scene as well.
But it's so okay, though. It's one of these, like...
It is, but it's one of the best things I've ever seen set to music.
I was hoping, that's fair, but I was hoping they would try to justify it in the second film. And then... spoilers, they killed him off, so like...
But like, I think if they didn't, he was going to be in Infinity War, the film would have been 5 minutes long, because he can literally do anything with our arrow. He could just go and then the credits
I was hoping they would justify, like, how is he got, like, everyone else is using crappy guns that seem to be half the time.
Yeah.
And yet he is something that literally can take out he can take out, like, an entire ship.
Yeah,
no problem.
Yeah, he does. There's one thing that slightly mad. They pointed out in like, honest trailers, I think. One of the Ravengers just shouts "down there" when they see him. It's like, mate, come on now. Like you could have easily just shot him.
Maybe if I go, ooh.
Yeah, maybe if I. It's like, it's really that bit really annoyed me, but I just loved that scene.
Fair.
Because that song is, what does it even go? Come a little bit closer.
Yeah.
It's like it's got nothing to do with what's going on, but it still fits.
I think it's again, if you watch it as like a proper film, it doesn't stand up. But if you watch it as like a comic book film and you compare it to like the stuff it's meant to be compared to, it really stands up. Like both the Guardians of the Galaxy films.
Yeah, they do.
Does that make sense? Like it's very, I don't know. I find like if you compare it to like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Really good, because that's sort of like
it is. But I tell you, who wouldn't appreciate films like at all? My dad. Let's talk about other dads. Let's talk about Star-Lord.
Oh my god.
Well, he's pretty vital. We gotta guess.
That's fair.
I couldn't think of a better
transition out of 10 there. That was brilliant.
I'd say like subpar out of 10.
That's like 4.
4.
Like, same as
Ham. Oh my god, I was gonna say that. I thought he was like pretty amazing because a lot of people think they sort of rushed him. I thought he was pretty well
I thought it was
crafted.
Pretty, yeah, I mean it was a wee bit. Again, they try to sort of they don't try to go into too much depth. In them because they know what they're going to do with him. I don't want to watch a 3-hour epic about him.
Of power and sun bombing.
Do you know what I mean? But no, I thought it was quite good. I enjoyed their sort of interpretation of it.
Yeah, and like he's not evil by his own standards because he's his own planet. Is different, so he doesn't think what he's doing is even that bad. That's quite cool. They can't really justify that in a non-sci-fi film. At all.
Actually, he's another villain who actually has a plot, which in the MCU doesn't do very well.
No, to be fair, even Hydra, to be honest, they're just evil. That's all you need to know. All you need to know. Yeah. But yeah, he does have a plot, and I think like it was well timed when he became a villain, because I thought it was like too late in the film. I thought like they would have done it by now.
Yeah.
But I was like, and then they show it straight away. You're like, oh, bang, yes, this is great.
Yeah.
I think Stallone was like worryingly okay with the whole let's take over the world together thing. He didn't take much convincing, but I don't know whether he was like, was he being brainwashed though?
I don't know.
They don't make it obvious either way. But I think that's kind of cool. If they made it like, oh, he's being brainwashed, you'd be like, oh well.
Who played the dad?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. He's a freaking great actor as well.
He is good.
He just came out of nowhere.
Oh, actually.
He probably didn't, but
he's been in quite a few stuff. As a choice for the thing, you mean?
No, well, that and just like it generally sort of went from kind of B-list to A-list.
Yeah, because he's in like Hateful Eight. He's in this.
Right, I mean, deservedly, like he's a great actor.
He is good. Yeah, I should have said this before I said about like the Bruce guy, but in the beginning when they make him like a young Kurt Russell, it looks so good. It looks so real. Like you'd think it would be like Uncanny Valley, and it's not. I mean, like it's marred by his annoying mother being like, "Brandy." Yeah. Like, if it wasn't that, I'd be like, that's quite good. It's not an amazing scene, but it's good special effects.
It's nice that again, cinematography. So.
Yeah, spot on.
Spot on. The fight scene at the end's pretty cool as well.
Yes.
The actual very end of the film I didn't really enjoy.
With the spoiler funeral for Yondu.
Yeah.
Spoiler gets killed off like we spoiler said earlier on in the podcast. Spoiler. I think it goes on. It goes on for like 55 years. It feels like, and it's like, I wouldn't have minded if they just had like a quick few because he does like the eulogy basically.
Yeah.
If he instead said to like Gamora, he's like, oh, you know what, like I basically got David Hasselhoff as well, because he went around the galaxy, he went on adventures, and he hooked up with babes. If he just said that, and then he went to the Ravengers going like the chest. I just did an action again, which I know you can't see.
Yeah, but that's like, or even like where they're sort of what they're trying to imply was, hey, he wasn't a bad person. It was person. And they don't but then having everyone going like, wow. That's the purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it wasn't a bad person. Then,
it wasn't a bad person. Then if they all suddenly let him,
2 films of development of making him a bit of a dick.
And he's basically the bad guy in the first film, for want of a better. He's an anti-villain.
We've talked about before. You very well prop that they settle that. You want to eat me? But he makes jokes about abuse.
Yeah, okay, guys. I don't know if you noticed this in the film, but Star-Lord says the Yondu beat the crap out of him and threatened to eat him. We get, they justify threatening to eat him. They don't justify the beating the crap out of him thing. So he's being praised at the end, even though earlier on he said he was physically abusive to him.
And it looks like
that feels
during the film he goes to freaking murder him.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm seeing a bit. Oh.
Unless it's it could be training him up for his job as a Ravager, but they don't, they could have made it a bit more obvious than that.
But again, it's just another one where it's what if we just wrapped it all up?
Exactly. And there's the big long eulogy, which I say, maybe that would have been better in a casual conversation with Gamora. It'd give her something to do as well, because she does nothing. And
especially in that.
And then it's
you
said,
she just questions it.
Exactly.
You alright? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it's what is it now? And he's like, oh yeah, well, I got a father in you. It's like, oh, it's implying it's Yondu. He's not outright saying it. Then he goes, it's you, Yondu. It's like, oh, he has outright said it. Let's leave it there. And it's like, no, Yondu, you are actually my biological father. It's like, we get it.
Yeah.
And then he gets given the Zune, and he's like, and they're like, oh, there's a song called Father and Son. That's good if you just know the song. Oh no, they're showing on screen that it's called Father and Son. How long are they going to milk this relationship dry for? So at the end, it brought it down a lot for me. If it wasn't for that, I'd say the 2 films were pretty much equal.
It was, well, I wouldn't say it brought it down as such as it's the only part in the second one where I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
Something for over a minute or 2.
It was close to being. It was close to being as good before that for me. See,
I think was this. See, I don't know. I enjoyed the second one more, but the first one is definitely a better film. I think.
Yeah, but only for superficial things that I just personally like. I don't know whether critically it was.
I think it's just it's nice to see them making a wee bit of a change to the formula they've just developed and stuck to as well. So.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Let's think. What else was in the second film? Nebula, so much better in the film. If we're talking about the individual things, were better in the second film. She had more to do than Gamora. She's a much more interesting character in that.
I know, they just don't care.
I know, and there's 3 stories going on in there. Is there 3? There's
in the second one or the first one?
In the second one, now it's
father and son.
The father and son. Then there's Rocket with the Ravengers, and I feel like there's a third one going on at the same time. And I don't know why. I
sister
remember
things develop more, isn't it? But...
The sister things develop more, but I think there's like another story with other characters going on at the same time.
Oh, there's the freaking slug girl
is
in love. There's that thing as well.
Oh yeah, like, and she again, like, you think when you see her, she's going to be just like slight comic relief because we've seen the other brands of comedy, but she's not. She's integral to the last fight without actually fighting, which I like a lot. That'd be like, I don't know what you'd call it, but it'd be one of my favourite tropes when someone doesn't fight, but they still turn the tide of like a battle.
They're really obscure.
I don't know. There's probably a few films where it does happen though. Because they've always got films where there's someone on a computer doing something to the main character.
Oh, you mean like the hacker guy?
Yeah, the hacker type thing. Because that's basically what she does by, spoiler, sending the father to sleep so he can be off.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I can... Yeah.
They might just call it the hacker, to be honest.
I know you mean. It's weird because they're not exactly the same.
No, they're not exactly the same. No, because it's magic rather than technology.
You could argue like Frodo going to the mountains kind of that as well.
Yeah, in a way it is, yeah.
So I know what you mean, but yeah. Rather than just let's hit each other.
Yeah, because I remember that, like, thinking when I saw it first, like, I can't remember the third story, but I'm sure there were 3 things going on. So I remember thinking, like, this is probably a bit muddled, but like it all made sense. It all was for a reason in the end.
Yeah.
And especially like the second time I watched it didn't even feel muddled at all.
No.
And like I thought the gold people were so unnecessary the first time I watched it. I'd like take them out apart from the first 5 seconds you see them, and it's the same film. But like when I watched it the second time, I was like, no, she is basically like not a bad character.
No,
like I
think she actually doesn't get enough.
Yeah,
time to like let them develop.
Yeah, exactly. And like because they were just like, they're playing a game and it's one joke. They stop bringing these up useless. But in the second film, I was like, no, I'm glad they're there.
Yeah, fair.
And that's one of the few like times I didn't think that was gonna happen. I thought I'd be more annoyed with him.
Yeah.
The second time I was like, no, I don't mind the fact they're there. How long have we been doing? Has it got a timer on there?
An hour and 23.
Hour and 23. Let's do 7 more minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Bantaxy. No, that's not a pen. We're calling the episode that anyway.
We'll find that out. Just a recap. Then a long recap.
Oh, actually, should we recap what we recommended last time?
What did we recommend last time?
In the recommendations round. So we had newer films, which were... So we're recommending, what was yours? It was any of the Aardman /
Granted was a cheat.
Yeah. Any of the Aardman / DreamWorks films, so that's like Flushed Away, Curse of the Were Rabbit.
You got the 4 shorts.
The 4 shorts.
And then, what's the other? Shaun the Sheep.
And Shaun the Sheep. I think apart from Shaun the Sheep and the 4 shorts, these are all available on Netflix at the time of recording, because we know what they like. They take things off quite a lot, so we don't want to get sued. And we're not an ad for Netflix, by the way. This isn't a paid sponsorship.
We don't have anything else.
This just happens. All the films we recommended happen to be on. Yeah, exactly. Just happen to be on Netflix. So you've had that. You had Fantastic Mr. Fox as well, also on Netflix.
Best film ever.
Little Prince, which it is a great film. Little Prince, which I think it says Netflix original, so that's
Netflix original.
That's going to stay on there for a long time, to be honest.
Have they ever pulled off the original?
No, I don't know. I don't think they can.
I assume they must have. I don't know.
Maybe at some point, but it's a lot less likely than the other stuff. What else did we have? That was all yours.
That was all mine. Yours was
Boozy No on the Snooks.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember your goddamn names here.
Which is not on Netflix.
No.
But you can find it for like 50p if there's a CEX near you, because that's where I got mine from. If you even want to spend 50p on it, it's only 50p wasted if it's the worst film you've ever seen. So like,
the best.
It's worth all the best. So and it's worth seeing because of how weird it is.
There's the George Lucas one.
There's the Strange Magic.
Stranger Magic. Yeah,
that is on Netflix as well at time of recording.
Yeah.
And Anomalisa also on Netflix at time of recording. Yeah.
I think you said that last time.
It's really expensive to get on DVD as well, so it's worth getting that one in soon in case they take it off, because like buying the DVD is a lot less of an option.
Fair.
What else? I think that was all. Points were 9 for you, 12 for me.
Yeah.
So we'll remember that when we go on to our next round. Yeah. Which is describe a film plot badly, which basically speaks for itself.
Transition.
Basically speaks for itself. We just have to describe the film plot badly. The other has to guess what film we're on about. Do you want to start with yours?
I could do. It 4 each, wasn't it?
It's 4 each. Yeah, we got 4 each. We're gonna give each other. I've got one that I'll give more points on if you guess.
Do you want a guessing system, or do you want to just? As you can see, we pre-plan this every time. Just show up.
Meticulous. We like the MCU without planning.
So foreshadowing. Just do it.
I say like. When you say guessing system, do you mean like options A, B, and C?
No, I meant like, do you want 3 guesses at it, or if you don't get it the first time?
Yeah, I think if you don't get it the first time, like give like some sort of a clue. Like,
I think to be fair, if you don't get it in the first time,
yeah, you probably haven't got it. Yeah.
I'm not too sore with the points.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep a log of them just.
Oh yeah, but I don't think I'll hate you if you're winning.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind.
Right. All right. Okay. So I don't know how well these will go, but we'll see. So here's my first one. Futuristic zoo with retro feels goes wrong.
Futuristic zoo with retro feels goes wrong. It's not Zootropolis.
No.
Futuristic zoo with retro feels.
This is a bit of a cheat.
I don't think I'm gonna get it.
It was Jurassic Park.
Oh my god, that's an amazing one.
We cracked it a little bit.
So like,
I'm sorry.
That's a point to you. So like, making our point to Declan, folks. If you're keeping score at home, which I know you all are.
If you are, please email in.
Please email in and tell us because we're not going to remember. Okay, then you can go for your second one now.
Yeah,
like all in a row, like we did.
Okay.
Quiz, yeah.
So I nearly gave you the name there, which would have been kind of pointless. So 2 guys form a social group. They don't talk about it. Also, there's only 1 guy.
Fight Club.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, so
that one was more, too well explained.
So like it's in this specific episode, there's 10 to 13 the points are now because we both got a point in this round so far.
Fair. Okay.
So okay, 10 to 13.
So bad parenting leads to a young boy going on a rampage in a torture house. Yeah.
Yes. That's basically what the film is. He's a psycho, isn't he?
I really don't like.
I don't.
Really.
He's mental, isn't he? I know he's being robbed.
For them.
I know.
On it, and people
they know
best Christmas film. They're crap.
Yeah, I know.
They're so crap.
I really don't enjoy him. No.
I'd rather watch Macaulay Culkin now.
Just
do coke in his house.
Yeah, same. It'd be like a biopic where he's playing himself.
Yeah, his house.
So it's a documentary, really. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Help.
He's cleaned up. He's in the other films now. He's going to be in one coming.
I know he's in the Meerkat house.
Yeah, he is, and now he's going to be in
another film. I think that's his big break.
I liked him in that. Though. I thought that was a good.
It was bizarre.
Right, go on.
My last one. So that's 10-14, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
It's your last one.
This is my last one. Yeah.
So it's 3 you had, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 point and then 2 points to you.
Yeah.
We got this.
Yeah.
So you ready? Mentally challenged man tells fabricated stories about himself to impress people at a bus stop.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
I nearly did one about Forrest Gump, but I couldn't think
of
really?
It.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I prefer that film if I think he just made it up.
Yeah.
Like, just
if he's just lying. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because he never gets recognised by anyone.
No. So in my head, that's what that film's about.
So it's
a schizophrenic.
I think we're on 10-15 now.
10-15.
Before we go into mine, so okay. I don't know whether this is a cheat because it is basically what happens. A teenager attempts to make a bookish introvert sleep with his mother.
Ooh, flip me.
And it's a really mainstream film. It's not like an art house thing or an adult. So a teenager attempts to make a bookish introvert sleep with his mother, and it's so much more like obvious. Like it's a.
This is really obvious. I can tell, but
it's a really known one. Like it sounds like it should be an independent thing from like a foreign film from a festival, but it's one like most people would know. They might forget this aspect of the film. But
I know it's something like it's not, but like something like Back to the Future. I know
it is. It is.
Is it Back to the Future?
It's Back to the Future. That's basically the plot, and he's trying to get his existence back by making his parents sleep together.
Yeah, I was sitting no, it's not.
It is.
I'm sorry.
So you get a point for that.
That was a cheat there. I kind of cheated that, but yeah.
So it's 11-15.
To be fair, I can't beat you in this round anyway because you've already more than 4 points ahead of me.
You might get these. Well, there's one I'm gonna award extra points to. Like,
right, okay.
I might even give like 5 points to the last one.
Either this is really awful or this is really obscure.
So this is like number 2. This isn't the one I'm going to give the added points to. So number 2, a serial killer hides his origins behind prejudice to fool a hysterical murder suspect. And again, it's so much like funnier than you'd imagine from that description.
One more time.
So a serial killer hides his origins behind a prejudiced facade to fool a hysterical murder suspect.
It's not 7 Psycho. No, it's not.
No, it's like I say, it's more family friendly instead of like a bit.
I don't know what was it.
It's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. When I killed your brother, I used to sound like this because he's a tune.
That's good. That was good. I need to rewatch that film.
Okay.
Do you know that film wasn't ever aimed for kids ever? And like, it's one of these ones where it's the same as like Watership Down. It just acts like people just went, oh, it's cartoons for kids. And no one ever thought it was a kids film.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, I actually, I got 3, but this is like a big point one, so it counts as, might as well be 4. This does describe 2 films, so if you get the film that it more obviously describes, that's 1 point. If you get the one that I've got written down, which is a completely different film that fits a similar mold when you focus on very specific details, I'll give you 4 points if you do that.
Right, okay.
Okay, it's quite a long one, this. An eccentric, pigtail-wearing woman and a ragtag bunch of misfits, including some animalistic ones, join forces to defeat a wicked witch. So it's obvious what the obvious one is.
What was it? Land, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
It's not. That's not the obvious one either, actually.
Really?
No.
A pigtail and animals take control of...
Some animalistic people join forces to defeat a wicked witch alongside an eccentric pigtail.
So Wizard of Oz?
Wizard of Oz,
I was thinking Land, the Witch might
There's
be
one I've got written down. That's not Wizard of Oz, and it's such a different film. I'll give you one more. I'll give you 3 more, actually.
Pigtail wearing... I don't know if I'll get it, because I'm not... I was thought actually it was like Wildcard with Land Witch. I was like, aha.
Oh no, it's nothing like Lion Witch. Yeah, pigtail-wearing woman and a ragtag bunch of misfits, some of whom are animalistic. So not necessarily animals, just animalistic. Join forces to defeat a wicked witch.
I'm trying to think of wicked witch films now as well.
It's quite a new film.
I'm not sure. Go ahead. I'll give in.
Suicide Squad.